in the Christmas spirit and painting this cute little penguin. We're going to start with this line drawing and show you how to make these textures for his knit cap and to fill in all of these details. We'll get started by painting this penguin, and I'm going to paint him in blue as I just showed you, but you can create whatever you'd like for his little outfit. So I'm going to start with some watered down blue. I'm using a tropical set. You can use your classics or anything that you have at home. So I'm assuming you're either a kid or a kid at heart doing this. So we don't want to make it too complicated, but we want to have fun. And we're just adding a little bit from our water brush right here into this hat. You can always make it a little bit darker if you'd like, or just pop in a little color on the side. The way that I did this was to go and make a bunch of little X's. I can start at the middle here, and I'm going to take my paint right out of my box instead of over here so that it's nice and strong at the end of the tip of my brush. And I'm just I'm going to do dark blue, light blue, and making these X's and turning my paper a little bit, leaving enough space, so I'll show you, so that we can take our lighter blue and come in here in between. But you can make whatever pattern you want. You can do stripes, you can do polka dots. If you want to make it purple or pink or red or green, it's up to you. So I'm going to leave a little bit of space there, and I'll just make it a little darker. And the first lines that you make are going to be a little bit darker just because you've got a lot of pigment in the end of your brush, and as you go down it's going to get less and less as it's getting applied to the paper. So you may have to dip again if you want something to be darker. Now we've run out of room here, so on a cap, it wouldn't really show exactly these lines here. So we're kind of giving an impression down here that continues. So now we're going to do, we'll just do the outside of this hat right here, and I'm going to make that a lighter blue. I put my paint over here just like this, cleared off my brush, and that way I can kind of control how much pigment is in here. And the pigment is the color, and then you have water, and the more water you have, the more the paper shows through. The more pigment you have, the more it covers the paper, and it's truer to the color that you see in your pan over here. We can paint our penguin a nice gray or black here. So you definitely want to make sure that this is dry up top near your hat. So you may want to wait on that a little bit. And I've been doing this a long time. I think I can do it without messing it up. So I pull my brush toward myself because I'm more accurate going from top to bottom, and I can get the point of my brush into those little spaces like this and pull it away. So if you have a little like that, a little diamond space, you want to start there and pull away instead of trying to pull this way. I am going to put some more color in there. We may want to go over it again in a little bit. And I picked penguin because my grandson loves penguins. They're his favorite. And he's got little stuffed animals still, even though he's getting a little bit older now. This one is celebrating the holidays and lots of joy. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this black, just a tiny bit, And I'm just going to put it right here at the bottom of his eyes. That way I'm not filling them all in and he doesn't look too crazy. And I have this like kind of rosy pink, lots of water. And I've just made cheeks on him, which of course is just pretend and lots of fun. If you get too much, you can always take a paper towel and just stamp it down and pull some of that color out. And that way you don't have to worry if you got a really, really dark color on there. And then for his beak, I have this orangey color. And in my drawing, my penguin had a smile. But I was told by everybody, this is his smile, it's his beak. But I really liked it and thought it was super cute. So if you wanted to add a smile in, you can always take your pencil and draw one in however you would like. Now I'm going to come over here. If your penguin is dry, you might just have to get up and get a glass of water. Now you've got his scarf, and I'll do that. This is Hurricane. I'm using this one. It's more of a lighter blue. And I'm going to come in here and paint each of these little areas. And if you want to, I've even done on some of these, like where I came in with a pencil or a micron pen and actually drew in like little hearts, or you could put polka dots. You could even make it look like it's plaid, because I'll show you that in a minute if you want to try it. And we've got his little feet down here. My paint is hitting my little Christmas tree coffee mug, making a racket. So coming along here and not touching the paint that I just painted. Gonna add this around here. You can paint over top of the words, but I'm not painting over the holly and the berries because I'm going to paint those in a minute, and I don't want them to have a yellow background. Make that darker. And I'm going to pop a little bit into this little pom-pom up there. Well, in my example, I do have like a little stripe. Well, my brush was a little bit ragged and it went out of the line. So what I was going to show you is if you wanted to come in here and kind of put in a little bit of a plaid kind of look. So that just kind of adds an extra little bit of fun if you're looking to paint a little longer, because you got it done pretty quick. Maybe their beaks are a little more yellow than they are orange. So I'm adding a little yellow to the top there. It has these little leaves. I just took the green out of my box, and now I've got this extra red, or you've got one here, and I made the red berries that go with the holly. And then for the snowflakes, I suggest you make them kind of blue, and you can't paint them in exactly, so you just kind of go along here. I'll do that so they match. You can also paint the hat one solid color first and let it dry really good, and then put your texture on it. And you can always put a little ground here or some things in the background, and you've got your finished piece. You can either frame it or stick it in an envelope and send it to somebody that you care about.